I'm Alexia Christofi and I'm a producer at DICE.
I'm David Sirland, I'm a senior producer at DICE. I think from a gameplay point of view, we can explore it. From a settings or narrative point of view, what we talked about today with the Pax Armada and Dagger 1-3 and the world and so on, that's where we will stay for now. But that is the world setup, right? And that's the conflict. And they go to the places where our maps, where we are in Egypt and in Tajikistan and in Spain. Or Gibraltar, I guess that's not Spain, to be completely correct. But they go to those places, and in BF3 and 4, we did some of that as well. But I think from the gameplay aspect of BF3 and 4, and what we're bringing into Battlefield 6, is that we are looking at what worked back then, and in other Battlefield titles as well, but we wanted the feeling of that modern era, near timeline, what do you say?
Near future.
Near future, or not near future, near contemporary, I guess. A little bit into the future setting that those games had, but with a modernized set of expectations for how performant the game is, how it plays, all of the, of course, our core modes and our maps to support that, and a bunch of small things from the past, like, for example, our maps spawn vehicles again. In the maps, depending on when you need it. We don't have support for all of the game modes on every map because we want them to fit. We want that to be true, and we've done that in the past as well. And in BF3 and 4, that was also true to some extent. And so I think there's many aspects to it, but I guess that's some of them.
You could talk for ages on it.
Yeah, you should shut up. Yeah, so a lot, I would say, because the first thing we did with this project was invest in our destruction technology so we could do what we wanted to do. And that was to solve some of our old problems. So a title like Bad Company 2, for example, has always lauded as an old game, but with the best destruction for its time. The problem of that game is when you destroy everything, there's nothing left, and the gameplay suffers for it. We wanted to solve that. We also wanted to solve from Battlefield 4, for example, we had Levolution in that game where you had this massive one-off moment that started and ended, and that's it, which is a problem because you spent all of this effort on this one moment. We wanted to extend that. We wanted to make that part of the game more often than not. And then I think the third part is the tactical aspect, where this needs to be useful in gameplay. It needs to be something you can count on. That comes with a set of stringent needs. It needs to follow rules. It needs to follow rules you as a player can understand, and that you can then, of course, as you get more and more well-versed in the world, use to your advantage, right? So it's not just about breaking the hole in this floor, it's knowing this floor is breakable, and I know what will happen if I shoot it in this corner. So the systems to allow us to do that to the extent we are is the technology investment we made, because we want to hit the same amount of fidelity as you've seen in all these trailers. That is actually the gameplay. It's all of this on top is resulting in a gameplay that we can control. And we call that final state the aftermath, basically, and that is also a designed aspect. So we basically have the map when it's not touched, we have the map when it's completely broken. We make sure that it's also good on sight lines, there's enough cover. You've seen those piles, they form when enough debris fall down, and it's very systemic that way. And the systemic nature of it is what makes it last longer in the match. So to counter that Levolution single moment, we basically stretch it out. So our hope, and we see this when we play in our validation, is that when you play, it looks different all the time because there's so much of it that happened to get destroyed, but also for the final piece of this long swath I have here, and that is what we call persistent surface damage, which is not only do we make holes in walls, but we also have damage represented by cracks. So you can crack a wall by shooting it with something explosive, and then the other parts around that destructive part starts cracking. And that means you can shoot at them with regular weapons, or different calibers do different damages to different materials. But over time, they deteriorate, and eventually they also crack and break open and show more. And that's all materials-based as well. So it differs if you do that indoors versus if it's a strong facade on a building, or it's an inner wall made of stone instead of wood, for example. So we've really gone into that, and then enough amount to sort of get that epic feeling, but it's still usable.
Yeah, and you never want it to feel like gimmicky or random, so there's always rules to how things break and fall apart, but it doesn't stop the game feeling different every time you play when different things are destructed by people.
There's a sheer amount sort of helps with that as well.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
I would say a lot.
Yeah.
We always wanted to do Dragon Revive, but to do Dragon Revive right, it needs to be usable to almost any situation if you read the room or if you read the area, right? That's also why you can just revive as a squad mate. I'm just reviving you now, and it takes a little while. But I can drag and revive, and then it takes longer. Or I can drag and you then revive with your defibs on this. So it's a system as well. And it's a fast one where you can instantly exit. You can always get to shooting. You can always get to defend yourself. And we wanted to make sure it fit in our general pace of this mode, or this game, I would say. And that's why that feature took a very long time to get right, to feel weighty enough, and to look good as well. But a key thing to invest in something like that to us is also that when I see someone else do it, I'm like, what are they doing? I want to do that. And I think it's very important for those sort of advanced things to be have a very visual aspect as well. You see in the distance, and then you can play around. It adds more depth as well when you are the opponent. When someone, oh wait, the guy I just downed is now dragged around the corner. There's people there. I need to flank them, or whatever. So I think Dragon Revive specifically, that was the ordeal, if you will. And then if you want to take kinesthetic combat.
I mean, just a bit more on Dragon Revive, so I play support all the time. It's my favourite, and I love having the defibs out. And I think you asked earlier in your question, like, how do you see it affecting squad play? I think I've had a lot tighter and stronger interactions with my squad. When I see someone dragging someone away to revive them, I run up, I defib them, they're back up, and we're all back in combat together. Like, those moments feel really fun. At first I was worried that I was like stealing a revive, but actually like we working together, and it really
shows your
enhances that
intent.
squad
I think
play.
that's the key thing.
Exactly.
Right? Oh, you start dragging. We're reviving. I'll support you. I will cover you. That sort of comes innate because it's so you can read it.
And in making sure these things and these changes don't feel OP, we've done a lot. I mean, we play test every day, so we are constantly checking. So we're tweaking, and we're able to tweak quite regularly how things feel.
And of course, labs has been a godsend when it comes to validating these larger sort of macro impacting feature adds that we've added to the general battlefield formula, like Dragon Revive.
A few specific examples. We've got spatial editing now, powered using GodUp, which is basically, we allow you to move things around in the map more than you've ever been able to before. Hopefully you've seen in the presentation, the kind of highway going off into the sky, vehicles falling down on top of you. It's crazy the amount of stuff people can do. And we've also introduced new kind of custom scripting and AI improvements. So you're able to make your own custom UI. And you're able to improve how the NPCs behave and perform. And then we've got a whole host of kind of tweakables and mutators, like the ability to do closed weapons is kind of started in what we were doing for Portal, or the ability to do hardcore mode. All these tweakables we allow you to play with and change about. So what we're seeing is that people are creating all sorts of modes. We've seen somebody create, like in the studio, like a kind of top-down 2D shooter, like reminiscent of a 2D shooter, and then we've seen people create like a horde mode where you purchase guns from an
MCOM, right?
Yeah, from an MCOM. So people are using these tools we have in all these different ways, and yeah, we can't wait to see what everyone creates, because I think that the possibilities are kind of endless.
Yeah, the sky's the limit, really.
Yeah, for sure.